Hello, everyone. Today we have one of our very recent DT alumni with us, Prahlad. He did, I think, a 6 month plus internship with St. Mary's, which is a sister innovation company of DT. And he worked in DT as a data scientist. And currently, he is working as an integral part in the growth engine of Unique Biotech, one of India's biggest pharma companies. So, Prahlad, I would like to, before we go ahead with questions, I think a small introduction from your side would be great.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Prahlad. As Artha already mentioned, uh, so I did my internship in DT as a data scientist. Uh, about like I just left the organization in the last month. From the till the February, I was doing my internship there as a data scientist. You already know, we have the dual role there as a teacher, as a faculty or mentor, and also data scientist. So yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Prahlad, for this introduction. I think we can start with a very basic question first, which is could you guide us through your journey? As in, what were the processes that you learned through DT or while being in St. Mary's and DT? What were the processes you learned? Very specific process, and how are you using each of those processes in UBT right now while you're working there, while you're helping drive the growth there? How are you using those processes? I think that would be the first question.
yeah, okay. So first, I want to speak about my teaching experience there. Uh, as I was an integral part of the torchbearer program of DT in St. Mary's. So in the initial stages, I was teaching, I was like single-handedly taking the basic electrical engineering course for the students of torchbearers for all the four sections. So during that time, I was it was really hectic, managing both the responsibilities of teaching for all the four sections and as well as doing the DT project there. So I had to so most of my time was being eaten up by the work that comes with teaching students there. So uh, so how I got over that was I had opportunities with like of attending parents L&D drills, and also I gained valuable insights from his guest lectures to the students there. Like what the specifics of them were like different concepts like purpose driven teaching, as you know, like first making the students understand what is the purpose of learning this concept or the teaching, and then the and then getting into the the content of the topic that I'm teaching there. And the other methods are like dream selling of the student for the students, and then like every DT member also knows these concepts like Socratic questioning and Feynman technique to make the session more interactive and easier for the students to understand it. So these are the main methodologies that they use in the teaching. So the only uh, like positive thing about that was I had when I was teaching for the four sessions myself, uh, I had many times to do this trial and error method to improve myself in the teaching. Uh, but most of you might know about this example, like Tarun says many times, right? When he says that I got this feedback from B section, where I taught them for about 1 month, and they were saying that they didn't get anything out of my teaching. So that night was a real shock for me, and I was not able to sleep also. But slowly, like I had conversations with my friends at DT and also with Tarun. Like they encouraged me to like pursue that path of self improvement without. So what I thought in those times was like I was thinking, is it really the good way or better way to teach the students in this way? Uh, but since I like pursued that same path, the next feedback I got was better, better than the last one. And then yeah, that's what I want to say. Like so, from here, what I want to say was like even though if you get bad feedback from students, don't get discouraged. Like since it is very new to us, right? Teaching engineering subjects to engineering students, like directly after coming directly out of college is it's not really like what you call it's really tough to do that. So we'll slowly able to cope up with that, and we can have a like it will be a path of self improvement for everyone if they continue to do it. So that's what I want to say from that. Uh, the second concept that I learned very much, like I embraced in D3 was the concept of like the what you call, I mean, sorry, wait, the project showcases that we DT used to conduct in Mains, right? Where it used to teach the students to think in terms of frameworks. Like for example, the product mindset framework. I really like that because uh, first we used to do our own project with that same framework and get the understanding of what it is to think in terms of the frameworks. And after we get the experience of doing our own project, we also had the chance to help students in their own projects, like which what you call which made the concept like which helped us in internalizing that concepts. Uh, like when I was collaborating with the students on making their ideation better in the projects, I was able to internalize those uh, the innovative thinking in frameworks, which also helped me improve. Which I'm currently also using in my role currently. So, as a member of team of the business intelligence in UBL. So, what my role here is uh, understanding what are the different problems that I face that are faced by the sales team, and thinking of like proper solutions which will help them to overcome those problems. So, as you know, from the product mindset framework, the first is the problem statement, right? First, I understand the problem statement from my interaction with the sales team, getting inputs from them, getting the data from them on like what are the problems that they are facing, through which I understand the problem statement better. Uh, the second one, as you know, it's like understanding the solution approach at least, right? So understanding the solution approach, the solution, how do you approach the solution? Like what in this example, I can say that what kind of data that I need to come up with the actionable insights for the sales team to solve the problems that they are facing. Mm. So second one, the third is about stakeholders, right? This data that I get, I am getting from different teams of the same organization. So during that, I should understand like what are the different stakeholders that are involved in this process to come to a proper solution which does not have like which does not affect other teams while giving a better solution to the sales team. So if I'm able to understand like that solution, which is good not just for the sales team, but also uh, it's like making that base for the like better things. So yeah, so that was the thing from the stakeholders point of view. Next is the user experience. So when I talk about getting the data from the uh, sales team or any team, I also should understand what their experience is like. Currently, they uh, like they already have hectic work, and when I go and ask them about the data that I require for solving those problems, they may see it's not like useful for us. Why are you disturbing me? And why are you time? And all these kind of thoughts may come to them. So here, what I did was I used that purpose-driven teaching, as I mentioned before. Uh, in this case, it's not teaching; it's just about the communication of the problem, and will help in solving those problems and all. So first, when communicating with them, I make sure they understand what I'm doing and what is it required, why I'm getting the data and all, so that they also don't feel that I'm uh, entering into their personal space or whatever, like or disturbing them in their own. So that's
Okay.
one of the concepts I use.
Hi, Prahlad. Okay. I would like to ask you a more specific question. So you have spent your 6 months in DT with in St. Mary's, right? So how have you learned some of the core concepts? For example, one of the core concepts that we talk about in DT is using Feynman technique. So, can you describe some of the core concepts that you have learned in DT which helped you in your transformation and which is again helping you currently in your UBT roles?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, uh, the concept that I'm currently using in my role is the product mindset concept, thinking in that
And
framework. So as to thinking in terms of the user experience, user's perspective, and getting the solution. Like so, that's the main concept that I'm currently using in my role uh, as a member of UBA. Uh, yeah. Also, like if you want me to tell about other concepts that I learned from dating, they're like uh, the one is design thinking and like system design, and everyone was Socratic questioning and Feynman technique. Uh, yeah, so those are the main things that I learned. Also, uh, like the value proposition, business acumen, all these things that I learned.
how have these concepts helped you in your journey, like when you were working on projects in GSMIS? Would you like to elaborate on
Yeah, sure. So one of the project that I worked in, it was uh, teacher tune. So it's basically a project on getting actionable feedback from the students, uh, through which we can like on the what you call faculty, and like giving that surgically precise L&D for the I mean faculty to make themselves improve themselves, and also like so that's what my project was all about. So when I was doing this project, uh, so first thing that I wanted, the problem that we were solving with this project was like students usually don't have proper feedback to give to their faculty. So when we go and ask the students like, uh, how is your teacher teaching? Like they will mostly say either it's good or it's bad. They don't give the specifics of where they are getting stuck or where they are not comfortable with. So first thing was understanding what their problems like on which parameters that we can take feedback from students or the faculty. So for that data, like getting the data was a real thing for us. We kind of did this exercise for 3 or 4 times to understand what that like exactly what to get students so that we can make the parameters for these like for getting actionable feedback on this faculty. So so you can see like here we use that concept of problem statements and how to think in terms like from students perspective so that when we like make that product we can give proper impact on the students also. Like otherwise, that product would be useless, kind of, which it does not have any impact on the students' life. So so because of that, we had to get the data 4 or 5 times to like get improvement in the data and get proper parameters and rubrics on which we can measure the file.
Okay. So Prahlad, I wanted to ask that like all of these frameworks, all of these processes that you talked about, how much was DT involved, or how did DT exactly help you through that process, or like helped you introduce you to these frameworks and then going from frameworks to building your own processes and then executing them, not just in DT but overall in DT, UBLs and Marys everywhere. How did DT help you exactly?
So the thing that excites me most in DT is the L&D drills. So which Tarun gives actually, like those are the ones that I'm interested in. So during those L&D sessions, I used to get so many concepts which are very new to me. Like I used to learn them, and like they were they were the spinal cord of my time in the DT. You can say like uh, those are the ones which I was very interested in. Uh, So in those like Karan used to give so many insights on business acumen, value proposition, and different concepts like that. Like and what is it? Cognitive intelligence or something. I'm not sure what exactly. Like, huh. So those are the terms that I really enjoyed. Like those are the terms you don't usually find outside DT. Like yeah, you may find them, but not at this stage. Conversational intelligence. I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say there. So, so yeah, that's what I like really about it. And those are the like concepts that I learned from the L&D sessions taken by the.
Okay, so you mentioned these concepts that you've taken, right? And you mentioned how you're using them at UBL. Um, so I wanted to ask, like, can you summarize your learnings? Let's say if I tell you, give me five of your learnings or four of your learnings that you took over the period of 6 months. What would you tell?
Yeah, my learnings. Summary of my learnings would be first is the thinking in terms of frameworks. Like you whenever you have a problem statement, right? If you are able to think in terms of framework, you will be able to kind of abstract that problem, right? You can use in situations. So that's the most important thing that I learned from DP, like thinking in terms of frameworks, so that we can use the same framework in different situations to solve different problems. So that is one thing. The second would be system design also, like system level thinking, like thinking in terms of systems, where I'm able to correlate one problem to another, one what you call one incident to other, so that we can make that like we can connect the dots, as we say in DT, to like think from the, like, there is this term we use, right, in DT, Garuda view. So that level of view is really important when you are thinking in terms of like leaders, like when you are trying to influence the decision making. There, if you have a better understanding of what system level design is, there, that's what I want to say here. That is the second learning that I got from dating. Uh, Third, you can say, is Socratic questioning and refinement technique. That might be everyone's cup of tea there in DT, because everyone is like they are they use those terms in their day-to-day lives, and they implement those concepts every day in their classes as well. So these are the main three things that I understand, like, that I got out of it.
All right. Thank you, Prahlad, for sharing that. And now we would like to open questions for everyone. I think most of you have worked with Prahlad closely. So now the space is open for everyone who wants to ask questions. So everyone who wants to ask questions is requested to raise their hands and then go on with their question.
Exactly. And Prahlad's a data scientist. I'm sure there's a lot of new data scientists and old ones as well who would like to know how he approaches his projects and how he executes them. So you can raise your hand. Yeah, Gaurav, go ahead.
He talked regarding framework. So even I know framework, but can he give us something a fundamental like framework that could be applied in a vast areas like he has come across?
Yeah, I took the example of product mindset framework, right? In which you have six steps total. About the first one is the problem statement, then the solution, the stakeholders, the user experience, and then input and output, and the last one is the UI, right? So that framework, as I have mentioned, I have used it in my current job in UBL, where so it's basically, you are basically thinking in terms of the users, right? This you can correlate with design thinking also. Like when you are thinking in terms of the user, and applying whatever it is that you want to do. Like in those terms, you can say it's very useful in many situations in our day-to-day lives also.
Gaurav, do you have a follow-up to that?
No, Artha.
Thank you, Prahlad. Yes, Priyanku, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, Prahlad. Uh,
Hi.
you talked about system level thinking. So I want to know what exactly is system level thinking and where do you apply this thinking? Like, how do you apply it?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to speak about one of the project that I did in DT as a part of JSMIS. When there was this founder office thing in the initial days of my internship, there so I was given this task of producing what do you call, purchase policy, okay, for the JSMIS team, where uh, so I had to draft a policy through which the all the purchase things happen uh, inside the JSMIs. So for that, if I just think in terms of what purchase is and how do you get the items and all, it's not just like that's not all that is there to it, because purchase department is connected to different other departments as well, right? In the whole ecosystem of JSMIs, as you can say, like it's like connected to the store manager, it's connected to the security, it's connected to the what you call the like the management. Also different levels of hierarchy also is involved there, right? So when you're uh, like, don't look at the SAPA view, take a Garuda view, like understand how this problem is connected to different things in that ecosystem. And then if you apply, like you can say, if you have that level of data through which you can understand the whole process there, you will have a better solution there, which can be more generic, not just to particular problem. It will become more generic problem. So like if you are drafting a policy, it's not for a single purchase, right? You are drafting that policy for uh, all the purchase that all the purchases that the JSMI is going to make in the later stages, right? So if you are thinking in if you are taking that approach of getting the solution for only single problem, you won't be able to use that same this thing for all the other problems also. So that's where system level design also comes in handy. Am I clear? Yeah. Do you have
Yes,
any
sir.
comment?
All right. Anyone else who wants to ask questions to Prahlad? Or are we done here for the session today?
Okay, sorry, Prahlad, I was in a meet, but I thought I'll ask you a few questions so that it can bring more context to what you're doing. So, Prahlad, what was your initial reaction when you were thrown into your role at UBL? How were your first 3 days like?
First day it was all about knowing what I'm doing, like what I'm supposed to do there, like understanding the context and what all the like so what is the ecosystem, UBL ecosystem is. So that was all in the first 3 days. That's what I was doing. And like also in the next later stages, it was about making that rapport with the sales team, understanding what their problems are, approaching them. All this, like you can say, it was a challenge for me.
What was the challenge?
Connecting with the new people there, and like it's like you're directly going to someone and asking their problems. No, it's not something usually do in the outside world, like, but there it was like when you're part of that sales enablement team, it's about understanding their problems, getting inputs from them, like that proper inputs which I need for my data, like to give proper analysis of that and getting proper insights out of that data.
And
It's
Prahlad,
kind of challenging.
just by seeing you, sometimes people are running away, right? So how were you dealing with that?
Yeah. So I'm still dealing with them currently.
Okay, so any hacks you found so far?
Yeah. One hack is that like getting that bond with one person at least, and getting help from them and getting that data.
Okay,
So that is the one hack.
who's that one person with whom you have a bond there now?
Anup, you can say.
Anup, okay, I'll let him know.
No.
Okay, you don't want me to tell him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send him this video then.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. And Prahlad, so look, there were many dimensions to your project, right? There was a content dimension, there's a training dimension, and There's also systems dimension. There's also MR dimension, marketing research dimension, and you're doing none of these. You're not doing
Yes.
content. You're not doing MR. You're not doing the training. I'm doing the training, and you're not doing the systems. Omkar is doing the systems, and what you're supposed to do is make sure all these 4 systems work,
Yes.
and make sure those people don't resist but adopt the system. So forget about how you'll get people to use it, or forget about how you'll approach it, but what are the challenges in really understanding the system, or rather understanding a system of 4 systems?
Okay. That I understood from our interactions, Tarun. So basically, you are really good at explaining those things. So I didn't have much of a problem there. But when it comes to getting that what you call response from the sales team there, that was the place where I had problems
Okay, so
usually. So
I think since your comprehension is a little on the higher end, probably you got this system faster. That was the feedback that I gave Krishna as well, that Prahlad is comprehending quickly. But I think everybody here on the link will now be eagerly waiting for this answer. How does one improve their comprehension so that they grasp these new systems faster, especially complex systems? Because I'm sure if I had picked up any of the other people, they would have taken a month to understand the system.
okay. Okay, I'll give my take here. So my take is that I'm not sure that I'm not that sure, but I can say, huh? Yes, sir.
Go ahead, shoot whatever you have in your mind.
Okay. So what I can say is, if you are able to understand some scholarly articles, like Tarun asked us to read HBR and and watch the interviews of the what you call the high decision makers of large companies. So if we can understand them, maybe we can slowly, what you call in the HBR articles also, you will have different concepts and approaches through which you can improve improve yourself in different dimensions. Like one of the dimension could be this system level thinking. So that's what my take is from there.
Okay.
Also, if you have that, what you call curiosity, enthusiasm to understand things in depth, then it would be easier, I think. So that's what my take is.
So you would encourage everybody to use the rigor builder and ask more questions.
Yes.
So I think, yeah, as a team, I think we can ask a lot more questions now. Because when I see a few folks like Prahlad, Stylish Pawan, a few of them, I think comprehend things really fast. So I think exposure to this business articles, as you mentioned, and also asking questions is what Prahlad is recommending. Trinath was eagerly nodding when I asked this question. So Trinath, did Prahlad answer your question or still not satisfied?
Yeah, I'm satisfied. The content which is there in HBR articles, like some words will be there. If we know those words, I mean the vocabulary, then we can able to grasp easily.
Yeah. So Trinath, apart from the words, I think it's about being able to visualize whatever people are flowcharts.
Yes.
One thing I would say is if you can doodle flowcharts, right? So the reason why I can visualize things is I see a flowchart. Chalo MR ka one diagram coming in, content ka one diagram coming in, system one diagram coming in, coaching one diagram coming in, all of it leading to improved KPIs. So when you can see it like diagrams, I think you can visualize faster. I think Anand sir spoke about it in his advice to young developers, being able to visualize processes with diagrams. So drawing more flowcharts, I think, can be useful.
Yeah.
So Prahlad, one other question is, yesterday, I think you got scolded left, right, and center, right? I mean, I think around 5 times I was screaming at you. So would you want to take people through that hackathon experience where we were under pressure to prepare for a meeting and your learnings from that? Yeah. I was literally screaming at him in the office yesterday and I was wondering what others would think of me. Yeah. Yeah, Prahlad. You were under
Okay.
insane pressure, right?
Yeah. So basically what was happening was there was a meeting in which we had to get do the proper data analysis and showcase those insights there. So the data itself, collection of the data was really a challenge. It was a really tough task for me. So I was not getting proper data. That was okay. That was one thing. The other main thing that for which I got scolded was Taran was saying, don't think of data, but first uh, come up with that what you call I don't know what exactly the word you used to uh, what you call we were doing it in the Google Sheets. So what he was saying is data will come on it by itself. First make that uh, like the pivot tables or whatever, like all the charts and all, make it so that when the data comes, it itself will be able, you will be able to replicate that and use that dummy data and just make the presentations and what you call so visualizations, and then when the data comes, it will anyhow get updated there. But what happened was I was not able to think in that kind of terms there, and also it was very hectic there. Uh, so in just 1 hour, I was not able to do that work, and I got scoldings left, right, center. Everywhere.
But how was the experience overall that in just I think 1 to 2 hours, we finished the entire analysis. We presented it to the global business head. We presented it to all the people in the meeting and we told them what the findings were from this entire data. How was the feeling at the end of the presentation?
At the end, I was like, okay, did I even go through that phase of getting scoldings? Like, not just scoldings, were we really doing that much work in just 1 hour? That 1 hour, it went very fast. It seemed to me like it never happened.
And how was the
So
experience in the evening half when we again went ahead and made a strategy, right? By digging the numbers. You did a lot of queries, right, on the data.
yeah, I was relaxed then
Oh, why?
because I was not thinking in terms of okay, we have meeting right now, we have to finish this week. That kind of what you call tension was not there.
But
So I was able to properly.
we had a deadline, right?
Deadline is different from going and doing a meeting with Krishna. So that's what I feel. Even though if it is a deadline,
Krishna, but you're not relaxed when the meeting is with Chetan.
okay.
So one meeting you were tensed, other meeting you were not tensed.
Hmm.
Why?
Okay. So one thing was in that meeting, there are so many people, right, coming from different teams. So if we are not able to give proper presentation there, it's like uh, it will show us in bad light. So that's what I was very concerned about. That was the main concern of my tension. Like I was very tense there. So that is the difference between the first and the morning session and the evening session.
Okay. Any comments on the word responsibility from yesterday?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So actually, I knew what what it is that I had to do. But as you can say, I was not very good at getting that data from the sales team. It's like, as Tarun mentioned, they were running away from me when they saw my face and all. like, so that is still something that I want to improve on. And like, so Tarun you are speaking about responsibility, right? So I think so. My responsibility that I want to improve on there is understanding what exactly I can do so that like like I don't have to like what you call force them into giving that data to me, but just like what you call making it so simple that it will be very easy for them to give me that data. So that's what I want to say there.
So for everybody here, just some context, I think Prahlad went through a massive transformation at Deshmukhi before I picked him up for my team at Unique Biotech. And I think one reason why I picked him for this role, which by the way is a super complex role, as I mentioned, it's about combining 4 systems to get results and to drive 5x growth of one of the fastest growing companies in India in the biotech space. So, but I think Prahlad has a few areas of improvement in terms of, I think, taking that responsibility and being that go-to person for that role. Although it's okay if it takes more time to get there, because that if you, I mean, this role is something ideally should be done by people with 10 to 15 years of experience, and as a youngster with less than 1 year of experience in being able to do that is definitely phenomenal. But I would want to, conclude this session by asking one question to Prahlad. So Prahlad, if you were to go back and give some advice to the Prahlad on September 4th, 2023, what would that advice be?
September 4th, 2023. Okay.
That was the day when you came
Uh-huh.
to Deshmukhi, right?
Yes. Okay. First thing is, I would maybe tell myself that this is not the role that you thought and came in. Like, what I was imagining was like doing that core data science projects and doing machine learning stuff and all that. That way I was thinking when I was coming into the DT ecosystem. But it was about thinking in terms of as a data scientist, not just doing that work of writing the code and getting the results, but thinking in terms of that as a data scientist, most of the time goes into like collecting the data and getting a proper what you call pre-processing the data and then going into the analysis part, right? So that's what I would like to tell myself. Okay, you are not getting into a place where you are just doing coding, but you are getting into a place where it's all about learning how to think in the as a data scientist.
Any other advice you would give yourself so that you work on your personality or few things? So what is the advice you would give all the new recruits for here?
Okay, one advice would be never miss LND sessions with Tarun because they are the most important. I have already told you maybe in my previous interaction with you, like it's the spinal cord of DT. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Second is even though you get a bad feedback from your teaching, it's fine. It's not a big deal. You can improve on by yourself. Get some like have some conversations with your friends and colleagues and Tarun also, so that you don't feel very bad about it. You may feel bad about it. That's not the issue there. It's like how you will improve after that. That's what I would say.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Prahlad. I think he's been an amazing influence at Deshmukhi, and now he's up to some really big challenges at Unique Biotech. And I hope his story inspires you guys to invest on your personality, invest on your comprehension. And I hope that was the moment where I asked, how did you comprehend? And he was like, that was very easy. I got it. Trinath was like, what very easy? How do I comprehend it? Then I asked him, okay, what is the process you use? And then he kept telling a few things. So yeah, I think Prahlad, right from day one, I still remember the first day when he attended my L&D session on September 4th. He had the best grasping, his reflection was the best on that day, where he was able to precisely articulate what was discussed in the session. But he stayed humble and he invested on his learning. And I'm glad he's taking on some really cool challenges at Unique Biotech. And I thank all of you for joining the session, and I hope you will put some of Prahlad's recommendations into practice immediately. Right? Back to you, Mitali, in case you have something to add.
I think that's all. Thank you everyone for joining today.